Can everybody hear me good? Uh, I'm just trying this out, see how things go. Uh, I figure this stream will be pretty lousy because it's not exactly what I had planned. All right, good. I'm glad everything sounds good. I'd planned on doing this earlier, but Walcom started his stream earlier than normal. So I was in on that because I moderate for him most Saturday nights. Oh, excuse me, didn't mean to hit the microphone there. And I thought I'd moderate his for a while, and then he may be coming back on later. So I don't know. I might not stream very long. I did just get a notification that he was trying to stream or about to stream. Trying to share this out in a few places. Sorry, I'm not paying too much attention. Just trying to get everything shared out. What I'm planning on doing today uh, is I've got a Hades that I purchased a while back. It was just recently in my video, and I'm planning on trying to put the tungsten version of the pump grip on there, and then I've got a little Picatinny grip to put on there and kind of see uh, how that goes. One thing I want to point out, and a lot of y'all probably already know, uh, with a Slamfire blaster, uh, I come across a young man that was talking about the Delta Trooper, and he was saying on his Delta Trooper when he pulled the trigger, the prime area, hey pirate, the prime area would move, and he was trying to figure out if he'd got a lemon or not. If you didn't know, a Slamfire blaster, when you pull the trigger, it'll wiggle the primer area, whether it's prime and grip or a prime and slide on top. He didn't know that, and that's something that, as far as I know, all Slamfire blasters have that as a thing that they do. So, uh, uh, that was a neat little deal. So, uh, I've not tried this. Uh, Hopefully, this won't be too terrible of a job to put that priming grip on here. I know it was a little bit difficult. I put the out of darts priming grip on my Artemis, and hello everybody, Nerd Academy. Uh, but I put the out of darts priming grip on my Artemis, and it was a pain to get that grip off. I'm hoping, and I've heard that the Hades isn't as bad. Uh, I'm hoping that is true. I'm hoping it's not a whole lot of prying and grunting and cussing and things like that to get that off. But uh, yeah, that's my main thing I want to do is try to put that uh, different priming grip, the tungsten grip, on there. Uh, and hello, American Foam. Uh, that's yeah, I'm working on my Hades tonight. Yes, this is my wall column tag back shirt. I was wearing it. I shot a couple of videos earlier. I had intended on streaming a little bit this afternoon, running, doing some errands, and then being back home in time to moderate Wacom's stream. I'm one of the moderators on there, along with Pirate and a few others. And he streamed a bit early tonight. I had Jose and uh, the gentleman that made the deplorable, cannot remember his name off the top of my head, and then another gentleman. They'd been out shooting real steel today, and they'd come back and he did a little stream, and then he said, he might stream again later, he might not, but I got the that Lance, yes, Lance. Yeah, that's. I'm glad you saw that American foam when they shorted that charger out. Uh, nerd. Uh, that Xavier has streamed a few mod parties and things like that before. He don't just a whole lot of just regular things, but I was just going to do something because I had a Saturday afternoon where I had some spare time. I've got a few things going on. I've got something going on my 3D printer here at school. I've got Alice's stream going on my desktop computer up at the front of the room, and then I'm streaming with a laptop here. Uh, I just wanted to do a little something, have something a little bit different that I was doing, uh, because I don't really uh, know exactly how well this would go for a video. Didn't know if it would be a good full video or not. Um, so I figured I'd do this. I've got an Exact Attack that I bought at a Goodwill. It's $2.99 on the sticker. I think I got it on half off day for $1.50. But it was primed when I got it, and it's kind of stuck in that position. So I'll try to crack that open, see if I can fix that. See how that goes. Excuse me. I started a video on this a while back. Uh, Pretty much Pirate. Pretty much. That's I've done a lot of my videos here in my classroom. This is the JSPB Urban Ops Pro. I started a video on it a while back. I've just not been able to shoot good um, chronograph with it yet. So that's so I've not been able to finish my video. How do you guys like those grip scales, those handle scales on that? Uh, Absolutely love it. If you've got the kit, American Foam, I highly, highly suggest checking out Valor's video. He does a pretty good job. I bounced between JSPB's video and Valor's kind of back and forth. The only Valor didn't put the spring behind his trigger that it comes with. I did. I mean, his worked for him either way. Uh, but yeah, I got those grip scales off Amazon. Had to get them because uh, with my black and blue aesthetic, those just look too sweet to pass by. Uh, but I really like how this blaster handles. Uh, that's a really cool blaster. If you guys ever get the chance to get one, uh, holy crap! Oh my God, Nerf actually did something right. Uh, that grip was way easier to get off. Like I did not expect that. Those grip scales are made for a 1911 Pirate. The Urban Ops pistol or the Urban Ops blaster. If you get the either one, whether you get the Pro or the Basic, uh, you get uh, it'll fit 1911 scales. Uh, it's funny you talk about having firearm parts in a school, Pirate. My dad coached elementary school basketball for years, when I was younger, and one of my mom's brothers was wanting to sell a hunting rifle one time, and he come by the school to talk to Dad about buying the rifle while Dad was coaching a basketball practice. And Dad went ahead and bought the gun off of him, propped it up in the corner of the gym, finished uh, coaching for the practice, and then picked it up and went home. Nobody ever said anything about it. Of course, that was late 80s, so that was a different world then. Uh, that's phone guy. Yeah, I work on blasters and occasionally reel steel and stuff like that. Uh, but I do it in my spare time outside of school. Uh, I was able to get a 3D printer for my classroom, and what I'm doing to teach myself about 3D printing and making sure everything's lined up and stuff like that, I'm printing off a Foxfire blaster. Uh, and getting my machine set up and everything like that. But I do actually have my students working on some 3D designs and those kinds of things um, that we're doing. So, uh, but yeah, that was you know something pretty neat uh, that I have access to a 3D printer now. I'm gonna reach over here and grab my new uh, the pump grip I'm putting on this. Now this is the one that Tungsten designed, and I actually printed this off way back. I don't even. I know I hadn't gotten my Hades yet. I don't know if I'd ordered it yet or not. I ordered the through Target when they became available, and they were a little bit on a discount. Uh, I think I only did about a 30% infill with this. Uh, just trying to save a little bit on filament, but I will probably go back at some point and maybe print another one in 100% infill. Uh, but I really like Tungsten's design on this. I hope I've got my prints cleaned up well enough for this to work. But you've got the two little pieces that'll go on either side of this, and then this goes up on them and kind of holds in place there. So I'm going to see if I can get that. There we go. Got that one clicked on. I like AR's phone guy, but and they're essentially the Barbie doll of the firearm world. In my opinion, they've got a lot of accessories and things, so you can do a lot of different uh, stuff with them. Okay. And customizability and such is part of what made the AR so popular. I mean, it's just like the Strife and the Nerf world. There was some utility there. There was some good usage and things, and people just kind of flocked to being able to have that customizable nature. So, you know, that's that was a big part of it, is just the fact that they're customizable. I mean, I've got an AR. Um, Actually had two for a little while. I won one in a raffle back this fall, and I gave that to my dad for his birthday because I didn't need two. Um, but like the thing that I have against the AR is that it's 223. Um, it's not exactly the best, most efficient caliber for things. Killing me, Smalls. I can get one side or the other, but not both on this. I'm wondering if I'm just getting in at a incorrect angle or what. Wondering if I. Hello, Pete Fuzzy Pete, PKL Nerf. Glad to see you guys out. I'm trying to install the tungsten pump grip piece on my Hades. Oh, it'd be cool to have you around a little bit, Pirate. There we go. Finally got that to click in there. I could do one side or the other, but not both. Now we've got both sides on there. And now for the moment of truth. Whoo! All right. Okay, we've got a malfunction here somewhere. Okay. Man. That in and of itself isn't providing very much leverage. Luckily, I've got the very same grip here that Tungsten used in his video. This is a very nice little grip, I feel. It's got a little button on the side. You can go down, go vertical with it, or put it back up. Let me see. I'm willing to bet I don't have my screwdriver bits in here. Oh, rooster poop. I'll be right back. I've got to go get my bits for my Allen wrench. Be right back. There's my sound. All right. Congratulations, Pickle Nerf. 100 subs. Took me a little bit to get there. I mean, I keep saying it, and I think people aren't going to believe me when I do say it, but I'm not in it for the subs. I enjoy the hobby. I love nerfing. Uh, love just about everything about nerfing. So there's a few things occasionally that I'm not the biggest fan of, but really enjoy nerfing. So I just like to talk about my hobby and what I get out of it and things like that, and share my enjoyment with other people. Well, it's a bit that I could put in my screwdriver, but if it was loose enough, I don't see a point in going through the trouble of actually reaching over and grabbing my screwdriver or juice scraver, as they say sometimes. Let's see, is this not going to be wide enough? There we go. Back that up. And of course, I would put that in backwards. Okay. I bought this shortly before Captain Xavier got his. This is a little cordless drill piece. It's rechargeable. It's from crap, Harbor Freight. It works. It's done me fairly well. Uh, for most Nerf blasters, I recommend. I got this sort of thin shanked. It's an Irwin Tools Phillips head #1 size. Uh, that works pretty good, and it'll get into most of the deep holes on a blaster. But when I'm taking one apart for the first time, I normally like to start with a screwdriver and then take it the rest of the way loose with a power driver. But let's see how this does. Man, whatever reason, that's wanting to prime awful stiff. I don't know. It's a lot stiffer than there. That's a little bit better doing it that way. That feels a lot stiffer than factory prime. Maybe I need to clean up my print a little bit, but tungsten foregrip goes on pretty easily. Just kind of make sure and clean up your prints so that those pieces snap on a little bit better. I really like this because you've got a option for a vertical foregrip or horizontal. I really like that tungsten grip. I can recommend that. I've got another one of these that I purchased from our good friend Valor. Uh, that's what I think it is, Pirate. I think that that gray piece is rubbing a little bit in there, so I'll probably have to take that off and clean that up, and sand it a little bit more to get that straightened up. That's, again, I'm still kind of fresh at 3D printing, so uh, I'm still getting adjusted to those things. Let me grab my regular screwdrivers here. I use a little mini set like that because they're pretty good. If you get the #1 Phillips out of it, which is the biggest one that it's got, it's pretty good about getting into most of the deep places on most blasters. This Exact Attack, again, if you're just kind of getting joined in, this is one that I picked up at a Goodwill. I just happen to think this is a Busby blaster. I hope that front's not solvent welded on. There. With this Exact Attack, I bought it at a Goodwill. I think I got it on half off day or half price day for $1.50. The sticker that's on it is $2.99, so $2.99 for an Exact Attack isn't bad. Normally new at Walmart they're $8 or $10. So, $3 for one's a pretty good price. They're a fairly reliable little pistol blaster. The only thing, in my opinion, that they're missing that the Strong Arm has over them, or a disruptor, is slam fire. And slam fire is not necessarily a absolute necessity in most cases. The pump kit for the Rival Apollo Pickle Nerf. I think I ordered mine. I might have got it through NF Strike. I know I got one from somewhere in China land. I forget if I found it off eBay and ordered it. Monkey Mods would be a fairly reliable place to get one. Now here's hoping this thing don't completely explode and you guys get to see a jump take. Yep, that did it. Woo. That priming bar shot forward. Ooh. Hit right on my finger. But if you've never seen the internals of an Exact Attack, which I've not, that's what they look like. Got your plunger tube up here, and got a little spot that goes off into your cylinder. That's, Lord of mercy, Busby, that's an inefficient way to get air through a blaster. There went the trigger, which was unintentional. It was nice to know that that spring still had power on it anyway. Felt about like a mousetrap American foam. That's a pretty good little spring they put in those. Man, oh man. Good Lord. Like they left this in a doghouse somewhere. All sorts of stuff on the inside of this. That's intriguing. Got the plunger, an O-ring on there. Then you've got this with an O-ring on it. It's inside the plunger. Or in the plunger housing anyway. And then you've got this piece at the back with your spring. That's a very interesting design there. Don't know which one of Satan's demons it was come up with that idea. But, I mean, that's, again, the air is coming from your plunger up through there and out that way to fire your top dart. If your plunger is down here, why not set it up to fire from the bottom? That just seemed like a bad deal there. Yeah, the Mad TV skits were pretty good for that. And then I don't. Some of y'all may not remember the Adventures of Super Dave. I think used to come on Fox Kids on Saturday mornings. Super Dave was like a Evil Knievel wannabe. You've got a point there, Pirate. At least it's not a vinyl tube that could be kinked shut. But man, oh man, that is just not a very efficient air delivery system there. I would like to try to do some different stuff with this, but and this is the first time I've opened one of these, and again, I was just kind of hoping I could get this to be operational now. So I don't know that I'll try very much on it. Uh, just more or less out of curiosity. Sorry about that. Super Dave, Daredevil for Hire. Yeah. Sorry about that. That is my Nelson Muntz text tone. Not a whole lot could be done there. Got some air restrictors at the back of the barrel. I'll leave those alone. And let's see if I can get that lined back up to set down there. Well, the slip clutch is slip clutching. And I lament the fall of the Saturday morning cartoons. I hate that we don't have those anymore. like we used to when I was growing up. Uh, I really enjoyed Saturday morning cartoons. The closest thing that I have to it now is usually on Saturday mornings. A lot of times it's a little after I get up. You've got Coop will usually drop a video, and then you always have This Week in Nerf. I like to try to wait to eat my breakfast cereal uh, when Jane's video uploads in the morning and just eat that and kind of pretend that I'm watching Saturday morning cartoons. But that works. Hello, Tisha. Thanks for coming by. Yeah, Rival is pretty good stuff. Um, what I did today is I took the pump grip off my Hades and put this 3D printed one. I printed the design from Tungsten, who's a Singapore nerfer. Put that on there and then put me a little grip. That's what I was working on originally there, Tisha. Yeah, Pirate, the more I look at that, the more I think that grip is rubbing there on that. Uh, Coop is sort of a human cartoon in a lot of ways. Uh, but say what you want to about Coop, he's quite possibly the most popular nerfer there is. Uh, he's the most popular one that I follow in any way, shape, or form, anyway. Uh, but uh, he's got a lot of followers. He's got quite a large audience, and that's what a lot of people are going to think of, or what a lot of people are going to see when they think of Nerf. So, sorry, I've been fighting sinuses lately. Uh, so Coop, whether we like it or not, uh, he's going to be a representative of our hobby. Uh, he he used to be, uh, you know, pretty big with modding and things, and then he kind of got out of it. But it appears that he's making a comeback into modding, so uh, it could be a lot worse. Uh, Super Lube. I highly recommend Super Lube for all of your internal greasing needs. Uh, that's white lithium grease works pretty well for moving parts, uh, but uh, for places where you've got seals and rubber gaskets and things like that, I feel that Super Lube is a little bit better uh, and a little more reliable. Yeah, that's Coop's jokes. I mean, they're aimed at the teenage kids and early, preteen kind of kids that make up the majority of his audience. I don't necessarily go for the jokes very much, but I mean, the man's got a heck of an audience. You gotta go with it. Let's have Saturday morning Nerf. If I were to ever start uploading, that would absolutely be my target. Toonami was on daily. Now they have Saturday nights on lockdown. Yeah, uh, and I'm sort of ashamed that I don't watch Toonami more than I do, because I kind of like some of the stuff from Toonami. But okay, let's see if we can watch a fat man cripple himself here. All right. Put a little bit around that seal. Hopefully that'll help that. that lined up. Worst part about this is the priming bar has an extension spring in it that goes around this little metal nub up front, and it don't want to come out and play. Yeah, I mean, Coop and Drac have their own ways of doing things. I kind of wish they'd get together on stuff a little bit, maybe. Because if they were to work together, they could really be a force to cause our hobby to explode. Sorry about that. There we go. The priming rod right here, you can see that little spring right there that just barely stuck out of the front of that priming rod, and it had to go around that little metal piece in order to get retraction. So that was what I was doing there. Okay. Now, hopefully I've not put myself into a corner on this. Just greasing up this other O-ring. If all this works out and this blaster works, yeah, that's what the problem I was having, Pirate, was it had that real tight angle on that return spring there. It was just about impossible to get that sucker in. Let's see. Get that locked into place. All right. Now, come in with the catch spring. Yeah, if this is in any way, shape, or form successful, I might be convinced to come back and mod this thing. Rooster poop. This wasn't exactly intended on being an easy blaster to mod. It's a lot better than most Nerf blasters, or Nerf brand blasters, I should say, but it is by no means meant to be easy. Those little bent bars and everything else. Okay, so it appears we've got everything back together. You've got a little bar here running from your catch to your trigger, and you got to have both bent pieces lined up properly, which I have no clue if I got those in or not. I'm hoping whatever the issue was that had it stuck being primed is resolved now. switch back to my Phillips head. I'll go around and get all these started. I always like to kind of go around and make sure my screws aren't cross-threaded. That one's wanting to be a rear end, so I'll come back to it. But you always kind of go and turn it back till you feel it catch the thread. And that keeps you from having cross-threaded things, which causes you to end up with stripped screws and ruined screw ports and everything like that. And that's, I don't know if you can hear the little click. Thank you, Tisha. This is a t-shirt that I bought from Teespring. It's a Wacom shirt. It says it's time for tag back, and on the back it says, and this time. I've been meaning to buy Broke's t-shirt that he has in his Etsy shop, but I don't think he has elephant sizes. There we go. Got that started. Now I can run through and kind of hit them all. Hey, Boomtendo, how's it going, sir? I'm just streaming for a little bit, doing some random work here. Put a pump grip on my Hades. And then I had this exact attack that I had bought that was stuck being primed. And I thought I would see if I could fix it. And of course, when I opened it, it tried to explode on me. Didn't do terribly, but I'm buttoning it back up here, and I'm going to see if I was successful or not. I couldn't see what was causing it to stay primed exactly. I'm thinking it was just something got out of line on the innards. Come on now. Okay, don't be like that, baby. Come on. That's, I bet. Yep. I was trying to put a screw where there was already a screw. Thought they'd both fallen out there. The Kmart version is a little bit better. I found this at Goodwill for is either $1.50 or $3. I'm pretty sure I got it on a half off day, and as you can see, it was $2.99. So the Kmart version looks a little bit better. The Walmart version was a little bit cheaper, was why I'd went with that. Yeah, that's the deal that I have, Pirate. I wear a very large T-shirt like the Wacom shirts. He didn't have talls, which I'm usually a 4X tall, so I ordered a 5X shirt, and this is still a little bit short for me. I'm thinking that might have been it. The catch spring was kind of out. Exact Strike is the Adventure Force, and Zenith is the Buzz B. All right, it is primed. Hey, and it fires now. And we're stuck again. Well, too much celebration too soon, I guess. This time, I'm not going to put my finger in front of the priming rod. That way, when it pops like a mouse trap, man alive, that'll never not be surprising, I guess. Yeah, I didn't re-lube everything, Boomtendo, but I lubed uh, the plunger tube and uh, all the seals and stuff like that. So I don't know what it is. I found it at Goodwill, and it was stuck in a primed position. And I thought, maybe I can save this blaster, because I know that these are some pretty good, pretty worthwhile blasters to fool with. Oh, don't you do that. That's tempting, Austin. There we go. You stay where you're at, naughty little plunger rod. But the thing that I was fussing with, Boomtendo, is the little return spring on the priming rod piece there. Was wanting to pop up a little bit. Yeah, I've got a thermal tracker Pirate. Uh, I I like the shell. I don't mind the bolt action. I liked the bolt action. I liked the snipe. Uh, Bolt action kind of takes me back to my deer hunting days there. Uh, but uh, it's sort of the form factor on the stock is kind of the thing. Hey, it's the other Mr. Sonic. I'm guessing you're no relation whatsoever to the Mr. Sonic, are you, sir? Okay. All right. We come. I'm going to go ahead and take the trigger off. Leave that there. I figured that was you, Sonic. I thought I'd remembered you having trouble with that previously. Uh, Let me see here if I can do this without things flying up in my face. Okay. Well, I've got, well, this makes my second one, I think, um, that I've got. I don't think I'd bought any others, but this one I bought at Goodwill and it was primed uh, and stuck in a primed position. So I'm currently trying to determine what the issue is here. Excuse me. Why it was wanting to get stuck and stay stuck there. That spring come off anyway. There, I was trying to keep it on. I guess I'll go ahead and take that out. Got this little mechanism here that operates the rotation. And I'm wondering if that might have something to do with the issue. Well, looks like I'm just going to drop in and just lube everything. You're braver than I am, Tisha. Uh, I'm not yet brave enough to open up a rival blaster in any way, shape, or form. Uh, they scare me. There's a lot of stuff going on in them. Uh, a tyrant with a rebel secret shot. Pirate, that sounds awesome. Uh, I may do that, Boomtendo. Uh, the issue is though, uh, as far as I could tell, this thing had never been apart, and it was stuck like that when I bought it. So, uh, somehow or other, it had got stuck like that with factory things. So, I mean, I'm not saying it's impossible that it was too tight to from the factory, which I mean that's entirely possible, because quality control is crappy sometimes. But yeah, that rotation mech. I don't know if you can see exactly or not. I can't really tell what you can see on the camera, but you can tell there's some stress marks there. Uh, so that's been in a bind before. Ooh, yeah, there you got some warpage, and there's actually a little bit of a split right there. Uh, yeah, this thing's probably going to be a lost cause now that I'm looking at it. I'm going to step away for a second, get me some super glue and some other stuff here, and I'll be right back. Oh, sorry that took a minute. Uh, this is going to be embarrassing. Tried setting up my lav mic earlier, and the fuzzy came off of it. Got stuck in my shirt. Thought I might have had breast cancer for a minute. Which I shouldn't joke about that, but my grandmother was a 2-time breast cancer survivor. Uh, I wear a pink hat every day in October in honor of her. Uh, but yeah, I'll put a little bit of super glue on there, and hopefully that'll strengthen that up a little. I mean, even if it's borked completely, I'm only at $1.50. I'm not too terribly upset about it. Yeah, this thing externally didn't show any kind of stress or issues, but uh, that's and to tell you the truth, I couldn't really tell because this thing sets in there like that. Uh, so you couldn't really see the stressed parts because they're on the sides there. So wedge that back up in there. Oh, don't you do that. But yeah, I'm willing to bet some of that stress happened uh, from it being played with and primed and such. And then I think the rest of it was probably caused by it being setting in Goodwill, primed for God knows how long. Because some kid primed it and couldn't unprime it. And Goodwill's not going to try to fix anything. Yeah, I need to get around to upgrading my MA5 Nintendo. Uh, and I'd like to at some point maybe put a different grip on it. I really like the MA5. I like how it works and everything, but that front grip, I'm gonna have to figure out something different. Well, I mean, it was going up before, but I mean, I've lubed it a bit now, so it should be a little bit better. I don't know. Just lube the crap out of this rod. This thing primes about the funniest of anything I've had open, which I mean, I've not taken apart, millions of blasters like some people have, but it's got about the weirdest prime of anything that I have dealt with. Where are you? Okay, got that in there. Well, that may be it, Boomtendo. I've not really had a lot of Busby things apart, but what gets me is you've got this priming rod here, but then you've got a floating plunger head in there, which confuses me lots of ways. Okay. Well, no, don't you do it. Don't you do it. Little turd. That spring is going to give me an aneurysm. There we go. That nestled in. Everything's there like it should be. Yeah, I mentioned that about the elbow a while ago. It looks like if they were going to put the plunger tube down here, they would have fired from that bottom cylinder. I don't know. Oh, crud. There went my catch spring. Get that in a minute. Well, there we go. Put that in a minute. Okay, that's on there pretty well. Get that in there. Okay. That's how that's supposed to set. That back into position. There. That looks good. Now the catch spring. There we go. that's got it all. If it does it this time, I'm just going to consider it bort beyond all repair. Something's not lining up right at the top. Try these all by hand. Back that one up just a tad. I don't. I don't think I've got slow mode enabled. It shouldn't be. Limiting you there, Boomtendo. I don't know why it would. That's the pump grip can go on last the way this is designed. Because it's just got the one spot in the prime there. Well, it's not wanting to return forward now. I primed it back, but it's not wanting to. There we go. Yeah, that didn't catch at all. That little screwdriver is not wanting to do anything. Try it with an Allen wrench here. I can get a grip on both sides. Huh. That's not wanting to do anything now. Yeah, I'm afraid this thing's just kind of borked ladies and gentlemen. I might have got the catch upside down. That's entirely possible. Or backwards, I should say. Waiting for this thing to explode for a third time on TV. TV. I'm not on TV. I'm on YouTube. It's what millennials use for TV now. Nobody watches TV anymore. Wasn't the explosion I was expecting. Alright. Sucker didn't want to catch it all. Now, Pirate, I feel like an idiot. I'm an absolute doofus. Didn't put the spring in at that time. Like a jackass. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Now I'm going to have to crawl on the floor looking for a catch spring, a couple of screws. Appears. Found catch. There's one screw. I think the other one was up there. I tried that a while ago, Pirate, and that's for whatever reason it didn't want to go back far enough to catch. Excuse me. I'm still wrestling with this exact attack, Tisha. That's there. That's there. All right. There we go. Excuse me. But yeah, that little piece that was bent is causing some problem there with the prime. That's all those shell screws. Okay. Put the catch spring in. Try to put the main spring in. Come on, house. Let's go. There went our grip scale. There went the catch. Catch is going to hit me in the face. There we go. That's better. There we go. I went dumb there for a minute. All right, part. I want to try this. That kind of worked, part. uh, I've not got any of the new ones, Boomtendo. I've been meaning to. Right now, I'm in a little bit of a financial situation where I'm like a lot of the stuff that I'm working on, a lot of the stuff that I'm dealing with right now is stuff that I've bought months ago, uh, and just kind of uh, getting the time to deal with now. Uh, my wife was in a very bad job situation uh, back during the summer, and she had to quit her job. She was having all kinds of uh, problems with the people there and stuff like that. I won't go into details with it, uh, but that's right now we're just kind of dependent on my income, and that's where I graduated from grad school back last December. My student loan payments started this summer around the time she had to quit her job. So, yeah, it's been a little bit of a battle. So I've not bought just a whole lot of new stuff or different stuff, because I've got several things that I've got cooking that I'd really like to get into. Um, like I'm doing the Foxfire right now, but that's about it for me. And before I'm done, I will shoot a Boomco straw through a Foxfire. Um, I I may have to look at different wheels and things, but that's I'm going to do a Boomco setup in that Foxfire at some point. Uh, just have to keep working on it. Uh, but yeah, I'd love some of those glow in the dark Boomco darts. I really like that clip, the glow in the dark clip that they have, but I'm a little bit. Uh, I'm slightly disappointed in the capacity of it. Uh, I know that that's pretty much what they had to do to get it to work properly, but uh, it's as big as a 20, but it holds 10 rounds, and that was one of my favorite things about the Boomco clip-fed blasters was uh, a 40 clip for Boomco was about the same size as an 18 clip or 18 mag for Nerf. Uh, so I think that's uh, you know it's a little disappointing that it's the size of a 20 clip, but it holds 10. Yeah, that's sort of the what I'm worried about, Pirate, is uh, the debt that I accumulated in grad school there. Uh, how long it's going to take me to pay it off. Luckily, uh, where I work as a teacher, that gives me some options uh, about getting debt forgiveness and whatnot. Uh, but it's basically I'm going to have to pay for 5 years and then see what kind of forgiveness they'll give me. There we go. Yeah, that the Dynamag would be a good candidate for that 10 clip with the glow darts. Uh, I'm definitely interested in it. I'm definitely interested in picking up one of those big packs of the new Halo darts and seeing how those go. Uh, I'm not to the point of doing breaching yet, but uh, I'm I'm interested in what can be done. Let's see. Yeah, I don't think I'm forgetting anything this time. Okay. That seems to be everything. Yeah, I think that piece for that rotation mech where it was kind of warped a little bit, I think that's going to be our Achilles heel on this. So, I at best, I'm extending the life of this blaster by a little bit. Uh, it's it was essentially dead, but uh, that's it may have a few more uses in it. All right, worst case scenario, I paid $1.50 for a spring and a cylinder, and I can use that cylinder as a absolver on a drain blaster or something. Try not to get that too tight. What I was aiming on doing here, Boomtendo, was just kind of coming in and piddling for a little while. I had actually intended on doing this in sort of as I was getting ready for Wacom's stream tonight. So I wasn't really planning on getting too awful involved on things. But I might do a Hangouts session at some point. All right, prime, return, fire. Prime, return, fire. Now, last time it hung on the third one. Prime, return, fire. Four, five. And if it'll work this time, then, oh, it returned and it fired. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think we got it. I appreciate those of y'all that kind of helped talk me through things in the chat. There, like I said, with that piece being cracked like it was, I figure at best we've just added a little bit of life to a dying blaster, because I figure that will go ahead and break eventually, especially if anything. If I use this like as a loner blaster, which was my original intention, if I get my Nerf War group going here and yep, went through 6 more there. So we've got it fixed. Person will have to be delicate with it to kind of keep it going, but took $1.50 broke blaster and repaired it. So maybe it'll last a few wars. Maybe it'll last one. Who knows? But like I said, it's, if nothing else, it's a spring and a cylinder that I can use for nefarious purposes. Yeah, just like you said, don't abuse it. But the thing is, I'm trying to buy up some cheap blasters. I'm hoping to get some Nerf wars started here in my part of Tennessee. I'm about halfway between Nashville and Knoxville, and don't really have a whole lot close to here. There's an airsoft place in Nashville that I think does a Nerf night from time to time, that I'm gonna maybe check into getting with. Oh no. I don't know if you guys could hear, my 3D printer just finished. I had meant to check on it. I was printing battery doors for the Foxfire, and my intention was to print off really nice battery doors uh, and let it start doing the lettering, then switch over and change the color on the lettering. But I forgot to change my filament there. I had about 30 minutes left a minute ago, and yeah, so I've pooped the bed on that one, I guess. Uh, I'll go get my print bed. It's a heated print bed, so you may hear me hollering "ow hot." But be right back. Okay. Uh, there, as you guys can see. Sorry about the glare. Those look pretty slick. I'd meant to do the lettering and the raised parts in blue. I was trying to keep an eye on it, but that's when I when I went to get my super glue a while ago. I messed that up. Uh, but yeah, I'm excited about assembling the Foxfire. I really wish I'd get a chance to do that this week, but don't look like I'll be able to. As I know I've got stuff going on every night except Wednesday night, and Wednesday night I'm hoping to go to church, so I'll just have to see how that goes. But I've got pretty much everything printed out uh, for the Foxfire. I've got a worker cage in that I'm going to start with, uh, and then I've printed a 42 cage that I'm also going to try. Uh, but yeah, I've got some things going on there. When I get the free time, I've got most of my parts to start putting together the Foxfire, and I hope that goes well. Uh, and when I get everything kind of put together and get my prints cleaned up, I'll do Foxfire Volume 2, kind of update everybody on what's going on and what I'm building. And then Foxfire Volume 3 will be when I get uh, everything. Tisha, Thingiverse is a place where you go to get files for 3D printing and stuff like that. Uh, that's where a lot of people put their designs. Like this piece that I put on my Hades, that was posted on Thingiverse by Tungsten, and I downloaded the file and was able to print it off with my 3D printer. The Foxfire stuff, Impact 498 or 498 Nerf, however you want to call him, um, he has his stuff all posted in Google Drive. But Thingiverse is a file sharing website for 3D printed materials. Uh, yeah, CNC files, things like that. Uh, it's a really neat place. Um, but I'm probably gonna. It appears that Alice is destroying her apartment on her live stream. Uh, you're watching somebody live stream that's got another live stream playing in the background. Uh, but uh, I've been streaming for a couple hours. I had intended on, if things went well enough, I was going to try to do a drum spring replacement next Saturday afternoon if I get time, and nobody streams earlier than they normally do. Next Saturday afternoon, I may stream doing drum spring replacements because I've got one of each. Well, I've got one of each of the Nerf drums because I do have an infinite anus, but I was going to do the three main ones that are out there. I've got a 35 and an 18, and then I've got a 25 sitting over on the other table. Uh, as you can see, how well I took care of my stuff a few years back. The 18 and the 35 have darts still in them, so yeah, I was trash. Uh, and the springs are probably shot anyway. So I ordered a bunch of springs from Foam Blast, uh, and I'm going to try my hand at replacing them. I hope it doesn't kill me when I do that, but that may be what I do next week. I'd wanted to kind of do it, like I said, this afternoon, but schedule got flipped around on stuff, and I ended up streaming later than I meant to. It's about 9:30 my time here uh, in the Central Time Zone, so uh, I'm going to go ahead and get off here, and I'll probably go hunt some supper or something like that for an evening meal. And it appears that I uh, can't get the participants to show up on here. Let me, maybe if I pull it out on here, I'll be able to see. That's going to be bad. Yeah, I'm not getting a list of participants anywhere on here. The drum uh mod, I if I've got an extra one or something, I might try it with your feed lips at some point, Boom Tendo, and kind of see how that goes. Because I don't know, you might have to, because I know that basically all you've done on the standard mags is put the lip pieces on there so that they feed differently. Uh, but you might have to create a new piece where that's got the space for the Nerf darts. That might be something. Uh, I don't know if I've got any extras of these or not. If I do, and I've got what I'm wanting to do a fan mail mod for you, Boom Tendo. Uh, I'm working on figuring out how I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna have to get the barreling material is going to be my thing right now, but I'm wanting to rebarrel a little blaster for you and see how that goes. And if I get that out to you, I may see if I've got an extra 35 laying around somewhere. Yeah, the dart separator thing inside the drum, I think uh, you'd have to do that because you'd have to have those set for your Boomco straws, and it would probably require it to be closer up to keep it from rattling around like Pirate is talking about there. Um, so, uh, but I'm gonna wrap it up at this point. I'd like to thank everybody that's in the chat. Pirate, Boomtendo, Tisha. I assume Mr. Sonic is still around there somewhere. Um, Phone Guy was in the chat earlier. Um, American Foam was around. I think Aiden was in. Uh, I don't know. Like I said, I can't get the list of participants to uh, pop up. Uh, but I really appreciate you guys coming and checking out the stream. Again, it was just something for me to do on a Saturday night when I didn't have anything better to do. Uh, so thanks for coming by. Hope you guys got a little bit out of it. I know it was kind of fun working through the process on that exact attack, trying different things and talking stuff over with you guys and trying to see what worked and what didn't. Hey, there's American Foam. He's still in. Uh, but but yeah, it was fun hanging out. Glad you guys got to see the Hades grip and my JSPB Urban Ops. This might be something for you to look into, Boomtendo. He released the STLs for the basic Urban Ops. Uh, so that's there for you to print. It takes 1911 hand scales. I got those off of the Amazon. Um, it's a nice little blaster, and you could probably put a Boomco barrel in that and see how that goes. Because you just do your own barrel material. And then I've got something else I want to show off right before I end the chat. Hang on. I splurged on the last payday. Latago was selling this. Uh, he had posted on Facebook, and What the Foam shared it out. And it has no internal mods yet. Uh, I'm going to try to put some upgrade springs in there and see what I can do. Maybe improve dart seal a little bit up front. But I absolutely love that color scheme. Latago did a heck of a job painting that up. That cell shaded. I mean, it's like I said, it's not modded internally at all. It's just been painted or colored or whatever. I'm pretty sure he used paint markers to do a lot of it, especially the black detailing. But I am a very proud owner of this right now. I'm going to look into upgrade springs. I know it can. Excuse me. I know it can take a K26, but I don't necessarily want to do K26 to it. I'd like to do something that's a little more reliable than K26. Maybe like some Magnus springs or something like that. Yeah, Latago does awesome work. I just shot a video, a mail call video today, where I talked about getting this. This I'm very proud of. It's very beautiful work. And I can't wait to do something internally to it and maybe use it in a war somewhere. Uh, but I got to see, you know, Latago was keeping everybody in the Fuzzy Walrus Industries Discord updated as he was painting this, and so I got to see it come together over time, and that was just awesome to watch. Uh, I'd forgot Triple B had done that. That most of this Tisha is stuff that I bought over the summer. That twin shock I just bought here recently. It was too good of a price to pass up. I mean, I really didn't need to spend the money on it, but I wanted to make sure it had a good home, and the best way for me to do that was to buy it. It was a very reasonable price for that beautiful of a paint job. Again, no internal mods, so it wasn't that big of a deal. Um, but you'll see that again on the channel as I get it updated. But I'm glad you reminded me about that, Pirate. I'll look up Triple B's mod video because I looked up a couple of them, and like Captain Xavier did K26 in it. I forget, there was somebody else, and I know there was a few people that were wanting to do K26 in it, but you know, K26, it's a good, powerful spring, but you can get more powerful and you can get more reliable. That's the problem that I have with K26 is it's just not extremely reliable. Um, but I really like that blaster, and I try to support the community, Boomtendo. I try to get out there and I try to kind of bridge gaps uh, between different people and things like that. And I try to support the different creators and stuff, and anybody that's got a good idea or anybody that's got a good message. Um, I feel like everybody deserves at least one fair shake. Uh, so, that's, I was thinking about the other day. I won't name the particular company, but I bought some, see ya, Boom Tendo. Thanks for coming by. I'm going to be ending here soon anyway. But I bought some 3D printed materials. It was a hammer shot kit from a company that that did some 3D printed stuff, and they did a few other things. Uh, but I bought two hammer shot kits uh, from that company, and I bought the basic kit from them. Nothing uh, extremely expensive or anything. It was $25 or $30 for the kit, something like that. It was going to be a barrel piece. Well, uh, it took 3 or 4 months for them to even email me about it, and they finally got back to me uh, with shipping information. They shipped it out. I got it, and instead of two kits of the basic kit, I got one of the high end kit. And I emailed them and I let them know what was going on. And I said, I'd like to get the other kit. Um, if I need to send this one back because it's above the level of what I ordered, I'll send it back. I just want two of the basic kit. That's fine. Um, they emailed me back. They said, "Oh, I'll check into it." And it went on a month. Never heard from them again. Uh, then I emailed them again and didn't hear anything back after that month. So they never did get back to me. Then this past summer, I heard that they had changed and they had changed the way that they handled their shipping, and everything was going to be better. Gravy in the gutters and biscuits on the trees. Everything was going to be just splendiferous and wonderful. Uh, and they had just came out with a new flywheel. Again, I'm not naming who it is, but you guys can probably figure out who they would be. But they just came out with a new flywheel that they had said would work really good with Hawkeye's BSP cage that he had. And I was in the process of buying a BSP cage. So I thought, hey, I'll get those wheels, put it with that cage when I put it in something. And so I ordered a set of wheels, and I went ahead and ordered uh, the high end hammer shot kit. Since I'd only gotten the one before when I'd ordered two, figured I'd get the second high end kit and go with it that way. And never heard anything back from them. So, that's one of those things. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. So that was my fault for trusting that company with my money a second time. Uh, I've since heard one of them got out of the Nerf hobby. Uh, they've done some good things for the hobby, but they've also kind of hurt the hobby a little bit. But I try to support anybody that I think is doing positive things in the Nerf hobby, because this community, we're just a small portion of nerfing in general. We need to stick together. We need to stick with each other and kind of see things out. So, um, I think that again, American Foam had mentioned Coop earlier, and somebody had said something about Coop and Drac. If Coop and Drac ever got to where they could see eye to eye and they worked together and kind of complemented each other and supported each other, um, this hobby would grow by leaps and bounds. Right now, you've got a little bit of bleed over between them, but you've got a whole lot of people that are Coop fans and a whole lot of people that are Drac fans, and not a whole lot in the middle. And if that ever came together, and you got your Boom Tendo fans and your Broke Nerfing fans and your Walcoms and your Captain Xaviers and everybody like that, if those people came together and worked together on stuff, I think it would be a great benefit to the hobby, and it would really help us grow, and we would really reach out to a whole lot more people. But that's just my 2 cents. That's just the way that I see things, and I know that in a perfect world, there's no such thing as a perfect world. So we've got to go with what's been handed to us, and we've got to work with how things are, and hopefully at some point more nerfers will see eye to eye, and we'll see a big expansion of this hobby. Uh, but I I might stream again next Saturday afternoon. I don't know. Again, the time on this was sort of impromptu, but but anyway, it's been good sharing the evening with y'all. Uh, Good night to everyone in the chat. Good evening. Uh, and I hope to see y'all in another video.